Assalamualaikum. Selamat datang ke satu lagi episod Recharge Usahawan. So episod ni istimewa. Kita dapat sokongan dan sponsor daripada MAHSA University dan today kita berada di Haniffa Business School, a very special series. We have some audience in front of us and also we have a very interesting character that we are inviting today. Somebody who has pivoted. Kalau in the startup world, this word pivot is something that we usually use. And I like to welcome my friend, Saudara Izzairi, to the session, podcast Recharge Usahawan today. And maybe as we start the conversation, slowly we build into your journey and all that. Maybe you can quickly introduce yourself dulu to our audience, both online as well as offline here.
Okay, thank you, Jazura. My name is Mohd Izzairi Yamin. I am the co-founder and CEO of TheNoor app. I am 40 years old and I started my career as a software developer after graduating from computer science, and then I worked as a software developer and developed banking systems, and then I went into drones, and then I built softwares for the government a lot, especially for the system to do some swing simulation for the elections. And then I started my own startup and now here I am.
All right. Thank you very much. So for our audience that probably don't know Izzairi, Izzairi would be what we call a serial entrepreneur lah. In the startup community ni, where we see a lot of people or a lot of entrepreneurs start doing maybe apps, start doing their startups, along the way tu ada yang fail, ada yang kena pivot, and obviously Izzairi is not alien lah to the startup community and all that, ever since I've known him for I think the last 5-7 years, he has been in the startup scene, and we see a lot of changes. We see existing faces or old faces doing new things. And I think it's also the same with you, right?
Yeah.
When I first met you, I think it was during Zepto punya time. Zepto punya time, and now TheNoor. So maybe I personally have heard his story, how he started TheNoor app. Maybe for the benefit of our audience, maybe backstory sikit lah. How did actually this TheNoor app came about? What inspired you from tengah-tengah buat Zepto kan? So tiba-tiba pivot pula buat Islamic app. So what was behind this idea?
Yeah, okay. Basically it started somewhere. I had this idea way long back, like 2012. Masa tu I nak sangat buat satu app yang berunsur Islamik yang hanya kongsikan hadis. Because at that point of time, pendedahan tentang hadis-hadis sahih ni tak begitu sinonim dengan masyarakat. Kebanyakan kita share on Facebook, and I pernah debated few times because I saw a lot of hadis palsu. And I told my friend, this is palsu. And we start debating. But he said, no, it's shared by one ustaz. And because it's shared by this ustaz, it must be authentic. I said, no, this is hadis palsu. So at that point of time, in 2012, I wanted to build this app. But I know my strength with my capacity is hard for me to reach the audience, right? Who will be downloading? It's gonna be me, my friend, and my friends, right? No one will be downloading because I know to get downloaders is very costly, it's very expensive. Cost of acquisition to get a downloader probably need to spend like 20-30 ringgit, and I'm not gonna spend that much money to get 1 million downloader. So that idea terkubur, dan sampailah 2019, 2020, sebelum pandemic actually. This idea came out. I was praying in a mosque and ada satu Pak Cik duduk depan I. Dia nak tunggu waktu solat asar. Dia buka app, then satu iklan keluar dekat app tu. And I tak tahu tu iklan apa at first. But I tengok ada one lady in a bikini. I cakap, Pak Cik ni tengok apa? Oh, actually it's not that Pak Cik nak tengok gambar tu. Tapi he open up a Muslim app and iklan tu keluar. For 10 seconds, he cannot do anything. So, he needs to just tutup. Then, he tengok. Ada tak orang tengok kiri kanan? But I kat belakang dia, but I nampak lah kan. Then after 10 seconds dia tengok, okay, dah boleh tekan X. So he tekan X, then he can tengok waktu solat. He nak buat a simple thing, tengok waktu solat sahaja, tapi he terpaksa menunggu iklan yang bukan iklan sahaja yang annoying, tetapi iklan yang tidak patuh syariah, lagi-lagi dalam masjid. So masa tu I pun solat, lepas habis solat asar tu, I tengah driving, I sampai terfikir, kenapa Pak Cik ni ada masalah macam ni? I tak pernah nampak pun in my app. Oh, I forgot because I subscribe.
Okay.
So the subscription, I think if I'm not mistaken, was like 3.90 sen or 5 ringgit, lebih kurang tu lah. And then I started to think, mungkin 5 ringgit untuk setengah orang dia macam no problem. Kan 5 ringgit sebulan just to pay for an app. Untuk setengah orang dia rasa macam, why should I pay? Untuk setengah orang mungkin dia rasa it's too expensive. So memikirkan masalah ni, I kata how can I solve this Pak Cik ni problem? Started from a small problem kan. So I kata mesti banyak orang lagi yang ada masalah macam ni. Bayangkan seorang bapa nak pakai app Muslim, nak tengok waktu solat dalam kereta ke dekat rumah ke, dia buka nampak gambar-gambar yang tak patuh syariah depan anak-anak. Macam it's not a pleasant thing to do kan. And they have no choice. Melainkan they spend money. So everything can be solved in this world with money. So you need to pay for the app, you don't see those ads. So after that, I fikir, okay, I want to take the challenge and build this app and give out this app for free. Totally free. But I want to have an app yang kelihatan premium, kelihatan macam app from US. Kan? Because kita selalu kalau tengok app yang macam prayer app, semua dia orang, I tak tahulah. I sedikit cerewet in terms of when it comes to design, it comes to colour, it comes to penyusunan. So bila I tengok Muslim apps, ada one thing in common. Semua ni warna hijau. And semua ni dia menggunakan satu logo, iaitu logo kubah. Because I started to ask myself, adakah Islam is tied to a colour? Adakah Islam is tied to a logo? Islam is not tied to any colour, it's not tied to any logo. No one can come and tell me or tell us logo bulan dan bintang itulah logo Islam. No, it's not endorsed, right? So it's not tied to any colour. So I want to come up from this stereotype. I kata let's do something different. Since I'm going to build a Muslim lifestyle app, let's go with something different than the normal ones out there. So that is how we got this idea. And I got another problem. It's not about building the app. My biggest challenge and problem is go to market. I think kebanyakan entrepreneurs, diorang tak ada masalah nak bina satu produk. Nak keluarkan produk is very easy. To get users, to get market access, customer acquisition, ini yang paling susah. You can build the best AI in the world, but if tak ada orang pakai, pun tak guna. You cannot convert, right? So that was the biggest problem. So I told to my co-founder, Datuk Ahmad Tajuddin, I told him, I said, I think we need to get someone yang ada the same mindset, yang ada the same passion, and he straight away told me that let's go to Neelofa. I know Neelofa very well. So
that was the point when you managed to start.
Yeah, that was the point. And then that one, I think that this conversation happened somewhere in 2019 bulan 6. Then after tu kan dah lepas tu haji apa semua kan. Lepas tu came back apa semua. I kata dah set belum meeting? Dah bagi tahu, but banyak orang lah jumpa Lofa. Dia kena
okay, before you go further dekat cerita dengan Neelofa ni kan. Okay, so you mentioned just now tadi nak buat app senang, nak buat produk senang, nak launch services senang, but it's this marketing lah. Yeah. Because a lot of times I also speak to entrepreneurs and all that kan, all these startup founders kan, semua nak buat app. It's the trending thing lah. Yeah. Maybe sekarang ni AI, semua orang nak launch AI punya ni, but it's not just building the app, it's also building the traction and eventually fine tuning the business model around that lah. Betul. Kan. And I think you guys are quite smart lah, in the sense that macam mana dia boleh dapat Neelofa kan, jadi dengan nama tu, adakah nama tu nama Neelofa? So we debate this a lot lah. Adakah nama tu nama Neelofa? Macam mana boleh approach Neelofa kan? Atau nama tu bertukar dari nama lain kepada nama dia kan? Maybe yang ini mungkin behind the scene lah. Mungkin yang ini tak nampak dekat dia punya website and all that kan. So maybe kalau yang mana tak PNC, maybe Izzairi boleh share sikit dengan audience kan. Macam mana boleh dapat. Can this be a strategy also for other startup founders out there?
Yeah. I think it's not about just getting influencers and getting attached your product or your company to an influencer. Bukan itu sahaja. It's more than that. It's the bonding, it's the chemistry, and you need to see what can be done with that particular influencer, and it really help boost you punya products ataupun you punya company. These are some of the consideration yang kita perlu tengok lah. So bila I jumpa Neelofa tu, because one thing, Neelofa was already working with another Muslim app at that point of time. So when Neelofa's name di-mention untuk kita berjumpa and to bring her on board, I think that was the right strategy and that was the right move, since he also has the same passion, the same interest. So we met her in 2020. Lepas PKP, I think dia ada buka kelonggaran sedikit pada bulan 5 kan. So PKP tu pada bulan 3 kan, ke bulan 2. So bulan 5. So the idea came and we were waiting to meet Neelofa from 2019 bulan 6. So dekat setahun baru we met Neelofa, and so I didn't had anything. I tak ada presentation, nothing. So just ada peluang untuk jumpa, and she also had given us like 1 hour. And if she buys the idea and she has interest and passion in the idea that kita bawa tu, dia akan join lah probably. So just explain to her, told her the entire plan, what is this app all about, and then she's interested, and she told us like, give me 2 weeks, I want to istiqarah and to see whether this is the right decision for me to join you guys, because yalah, out of the blue suddenly come these orang nak suruh buat business sekali. So she also needs to be cautious kan. And after 2 weeks she said Alhamdulillah, I think it's a go. And I said Alhamdulillah. So now we need a name. The name tu masa tu macam-macam nama lah keluar. Iman dah ada. Oh tak boleh buat Iman lah, EEMAN, macam-macam nama keluar. Then susah kenapa lah, dia punya jauh. So Lofa likes the name Noor kan. I told her Noor is like tergantung, and everybody has Noor here, Noor there, and maybe we can use Noor but we put the, sounds a bit different, right? So that's how we got TheNoor. So it's a collective decision lah.
So it was after meeting Neelofa lah that you came up with the name, and the color as well.
The color, I think because we do not want to have the same trend macam semua orang Muslim app, kubah, bulan, hijau. Kubah, bulan, hijau. So we wanted to do something different, because since what we are building is more towards lifestyle that covers holistically everything that the Muslim needs, so it should not be tied to a color.
And the color pink was a decision that she suggested, or
she told me she likes purple. So I told purple, the nearest that it can match, probably pink.
Okay, that's how you came up with the color. So I like the idea that you're also challenging the norm lah. Kalau Muslim app ni bintang bulan, warna hijau, gambar kubah. So you're really testing the norm of a Muslim app. It's not just the app lah. I think it's also banyak advertising pun pakai benda yang sama juga. Bulan bintang, gambar kubah, warna hijau. And I like the idea that you are using technology and also all these colors and branding to challenge. And I think as a Muslim also, I'm proud lah that my new app warna pink kan. Macam kalau dulu traditional warna hijau kan, macam dull sikit. And ni macam bright. App apa tu kan. So nampak very interesting. So it was, tapi this is very interesting lah. Bila dia jumpa, dia buat pitch tu, masa tu belum ada apa-apa, betul? Belum ada apa-apa, right?
Nothing.
And I think this is also the challenge with a lot of entrepreneurs. Bila kita nak pitch, bila kita nak jumpa seseorang, baik influencer ke, baik mentor ke, ataupun orang yang maybe angel investors kan, kita rasa macam kita perlu ada benda tu dah siap. Kan? So is that reality or is that just a myth?
It's a mixture. Okay. Because my mentor told me last time when I wanted to raise funds, I told him I need to finish up the entire app. That was my previous startup. He said, "Why you need to finish up your entire app baru boleh raise fund?" I said, "Yeah. If not, how people nak percaya? That means they don't percaya your app or they don't percaya you." I said, "Ya, betul juga." He said, if I tengok orang salesman dekat shopping complex itu rumah atas flyer pun sudah habis jual tau. Itu rumah pun tak ada lagi tau. You mau cakap, you mau tunggu itu app siap baru you boleh raise fund. You tak ada otak punya orang. So since bila dia cakap macam tu dekat I thought, okay, let me take the challenge and I need to convince people kalau before the app siap, I can get people to come and invest and trust me. Why not? Let's do it. So the first investment yang I think I pergi approach is FFF, friends, families and foes, kawan kepada kawan, kan. These are the closest circle yang you boleh access and tap into. So I bawa jumpa orang, family, jumpa friends. I didn't know the power of people trusting in me.
Yep.
I said, bro, I'm doing this. You nak invest? This is the percentage. This is what you get, and this is the valuation. And straight away, most of them, when you need the money, I say, when I need the money, I need today. Okay, tomorrow I'll bank in. And I think we've raised, without the app ready, we raised close to 1.7 million ringgit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting without the app completed dah raise 1.7 million. So I think this is the mindset that we need to be aware of. And usahawan kita kena berani lah. You know, if you have an idea, if you have a brilliant idea, I think we need to pursue that, kan? Sebab kadang-kadang kita rasa kita kena habiskan dulu baru boleh. And it's not just app. Kadang-kadang produk pun sama juga. Kita rasa kita kena completekan produk tu dulu baru kita boleh offer. This is where the challenge is. Kita completekan produk, lepas tu tak ada orang nak.
We kena start at least.
So I think something we can learn here lah. Kita start dulu. Along the way as we are building, kita boleh pivot, kita boleh improvise and all that. But I think the courage to share your ideas lah. Share your ideas and the courage to also raise the funds. Kan?
Yeah, correct.
Minta. You know, kadang-kadang kita tak minta, kita tak dapat lah. Kan? Tak minta, tak dapat. So, how long did it take for you to build from the time you met, you know, dah raise the funds, initial funds and all that? How long did you take for you to do version 1 of the app?
Okay, so I think it bergerak pantas. Okay, I met Neelofa in May. Then 2 weeks, she needed 2 weeks. And in bulan Jun, kita dah set up company. And after set up company, kita terus dapat, we terus did our investment. We got investment from our circle, close circle, friends, families, and friend punya friend. Okay, so we got our first investment. And it took us 4 months. 4 months to build the first basic app.
Okay.
So because we had banyak plans nak ada app yang canggih itu ini, but I don't believe in having too perfect of the app baru launch, because if nak tunggu terlalu perfect, I know it will never launch and it will never happen. And we just need to test out and see what the market punya reaction towards the app, and we can improve from there. So kalau terlalu perfect, because I learned from my previous mistake, I wanted to build an app back in 2013. I tak launch that app sampai hari ni sebab I was too perfectionist. Okay, I tukar sana, tukar sini, tukar sana, tukar sini. I told myself it's not ready for market. It's not ready for market. But whenever I present this app to the industry, everybody likes it. Okay. Cuma I tak confident nak go to market because I was too perfectionist, which is not good. So I belajar from that kesilapan. Every kesilapan yang I dah lalui, I took that as a lesson, and and for me, entrepreneurs boleh gagal ke tak boleh gagal? Itu soalan paling penting. For me, I am okay if entrepreneurs fail, but they must know why they fail. Okay, we should allow entrepreneurs to fail so that they understand better, they learn from their failure, and they come back stronger. So I took that failure as a lesson, life lesson. I said, okay, this time around, build a basic one. Tak payah jadi terlalu perfectionist. As long boleh pakai, tak menyusahkan orang, bawa manfaat, launch. So I launched a very basic one in January. Took me 4.5 months.
Okay, 4.5 months to launch the app. I like that idea of learning from mistakes lah. I think sekarang ni with the advancement of social media and all that, kita tengok ramai usahawan, ramai entrepreneurs, both local and overseas launch macam-macam lah. Launch app lah, launch product lah, services and all that. And most of the time they show the nice things lah. Social media kita tunjuk benda-benda yang best, kita tak tunjuk benda yang tak best and all that. And I think it creates this image or it creates this idea that kalau kita nak jadi usahawan mesti berjaya. And kita takut this idea of failing, or making mistakes, kan? And I think it stops a lot of people. Yeah. So I think this is a good lesson, kan, yang kita boleh ambil. And we're talking about a serious app lah. Walaupun serious app sekarang, masa launch pun dia tak complete, dia tak perfect lah. Dia tak perfect. So the idea of launching when you feel it's already ready and getting market validation, right? Yeah. So I think that's more important, right? So when you launch, what was the response, and did that create a market validation for you on the day you launch?
Yeah. Okay, because all this time, bila I bina app, bila I launched my app, I think the paling tinggi orang download adalah sekitar 100 orang satu hari. Okay. That was an achievement lah. 100 people download in a day.
Itu pun kira best lah.
Rasa happy sangat. But bila dengan Neelofa, I terkejut sangat kerana pada hari pertama kita launch on iOS, because bila kita launch, kita tak ada Android. We only had iOS. And the download went to 160,000 downloads in 24 hours. That was the first day.
And 164,000
Yeah.
In a day
In a day. And I terkejut, and because dalam Apple App Store, we were number 1 for overall apps. And I terkejut. I rasa macam tak tahu I nak buat apa ni. Dalam keadaan terkejut dan happy, I terkejut satu lagi. My Google bill went to 978,000 ringgit.
Wow. What happened lah?
Okay, that is why. Okay, because hari kedua pun masih like 170, 140. Kita berada dalam Google App Store, dalam Apple App Store, top 1 for the whole entire week.
Okay.
Top 1, kita kalahkan Waze, kalahkan Telegram, kalahkan Facebook, nombor 2. Tak boleh pecah rekod TheNoor, kan? So for 1 week, lepas 1 week tu kita dapat bill, I terkejut, and because of the bill 978,000. So we try to rectify, and kita jumpa problem dia. Masa itulah kita belajar, because dalam kita punya app ada detection of the location coordinate of the phone, and to detect where is the nearest mosque. Okay, so we use that detection and to check where's the nearest mosque to you, to the user, but we tak set the parameter, the radius. That means if orang yang install the app bergerak-gerak dalam rumah pun, it hits the Google server.
Okay.
Kan? So padahal orang tu dalam rumah aja, pergi dapur bawa handphone. Kadang kita rasa marah, kenapa dia pergi dapur bawa handphone? Tapi suka hati dia lah.
Dia punya handphone kan, dia punya rumah.
Kan? Sampai we cannot stop people lah. If you dah download TheNoor app, masa tu kan PKP. Okay. If you download TheNoor app, make sure jangan gerak-gerak dalam rumah. But we cannot do that because people already install the app. So that's the downside of app. Dia tak macam website. Website you can just change it on the server, immediate effect. Tapi app is a big problem. Kita fikir panjang. Kita kata nak letak notice ke dalam app ni, bagi tahu please siapa yang dah download TheNoor app, jangan bergerak-gerak dalam rumah. Kan?
Tak jadi lah, orang tak download kot.
Okay, so what we did, we contact Google. Kita kata Google, kita minta maaf, kita company baru, we cannot pay you, we don't have that much money. So all this drama berlaku lah di belakang tabir. Orang tak perasan. Kan? Orang rasa best ni pakai TheNoor app, tapi kami di belakang menangis sebenarnya. Kan? So 978,000 and the bill still berjalan, masih meningkat. So kami call Google, buat video call, Zoom call. We have a serious problem. So Mountain View Google menjawab Zoom call kami. Dia set satu meeting. Kita kata ini adalah kesilapan teknikal. Ini adalah kami tak tahu, kami player yang agak baru, kami perlukan lebih guidance from Google. Yang baik semua dari Google, yang bermasalah daripada kami. So this was a real story, and Google was so generous at that time. Dia bantu kita banyak, and they waive I think like 90% of the errors. Dia kata, okay, because this is an error, and I think we were very grateful to have partners like Google, like all this.
So because of that, they also became a partner of TheNoor, kan?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
So that's interesting lah. Kita buat something, kita tak tahu the hidden cost and all that.
Yeah.
Suddenly benda tu explode, kita belajar daripada benda tu pula, kan? So very interesting so first day 160,000 downloads and I think sure benda tu bagi kita semangat and all that.
Yeah.
So currently dah berapa? At this point in time?
Okay, we have number of download yang unique devices, but I don't like to go with unique. Unique kita punya download jadi kecil, jadi 2.7 million. But when we put including the duplicates, it's close to 6 million.
6 million.
Because our Android is closing to 1.12 million.
Okay.
Android. We also have a lot of problems dengan kita punya app orang ada uninstall sebab stability. These are some of the things. Bila you go robust, you will have this kind of problem. Tapi in terms of download, it's not the thing that paling membuatkan I gembira. I lebih suka tengok pada number of active users.
Okay.
Our number of active users daily sekarang adalah sekitar 240,000. But on certain days like Monday, Thursday, Friday, it can go up to 370, sometimes 400 depending on the days. And we will have more active users during the month of Ramadan. So what happened when we have a lot of active users? Yeah, the server bill goes up again lah. Okay.
But so okay lah, server bill tinggi because active users. But it's also the active users yang membolehkan you make the app more marketable, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Correct. So itu kena tahulah. Bill tinggi betul, tapi itu yang membolehkan kita market the app because of users ramai.
Yeah, betul. So because we have advertisers in the app, but we have pledged from day one, this app is going to be totally free. It's going to be a premium app, dan insyaAllah kita akan tak ada iklan yang menjengkelkan ataupun yang dipanggil sebagai intrusive pop-up ads. Iklan-iklan yang ada dalam TheNoor semuanya patuh syariah, insyaAllah. Dia lebih subtle in the page, orang tak berapa perasan pun. And kita generate income through the eyeball views. Kerana banyak eyeball views, kita ada official bank yang came in as a sponsor. Kita ada Bank Islam on the first year, then on the second year we have Al-Rajihi, and on the third year we are looking and talking to some other banks sebagai official partner bank. And kita ada juga beberapa revenue stream. Ada orang tanya, macam mana you all make money? You all bagi
I think that's a very important question. A lot of people nak tahu kan, macam mana sebenarnya TheNoor app ni buat duit kan? What's the business model? Yang mana boleh share lah, yang mana boleh share.
Everything di dalam TheNoor app ni is very transparent. Dia tak ada yang terselindung. Everything we do, everything is declared to the public. Okay. Nombor satu, kita ada app ni is totally free, is fine. But kita punya revenue stream is very clear. Kita bagi, kita adalah amil kepada NGO. Kita talk to NGO dalam from Malaysia, from Indonesia, from Turkey, from few other countries like Uganda, UK. We talk to them. We told them, you lantik kami menjadi amil, kan? So bila amil ada a portion of fee untuk amil. You kalau tengok dalil ada fee iaitu 1/8 untuk amil. So kita minta NGO melantik kami menjadi amil. So from every money that is collected from the app, 1 out of 8 goes to TheNoor, and the balance 7 out of 8 goes to the NGO for disbursement. And kita nak buat benda ni a bit different. Kita nak semua orang tahu berapa NGO itu kutip. Sebab kebanyakan masalah ialah every time when I do donation, I tak tahu NGO tu collect berapa. So on the TheNoor app, I think I'm going to change a bit. On the TheNoor app, it should be transparent. And I nak tengok, orang awam pun nak tengok siapa yang donate to this NGO. Kalau orang yang penderma tu nak set as anonymous, it's up to the penderma. Kalau penderma tu nak letak nama, it's up to the penderma, kan? So kita make it everything transparent. So it's transparent to the penderma, it's transparent to the NGO. So that's one revenue source. Then nombor 2, kita juga work with zakat, because zakat we tak boleh jadi amil. kerana amil adalah pemerintah, yang jadi amil, so kita jadi agent kepada amil, so we get a lower cut lah, tak boleh ambil 1/8. And then we ada produk-produk lain macam takaful. We work with takaful players. Yang sekarang kita ada Zurich takaful. We told Zurich that we want something that is different, yang bukan on the shelf. We want something that might give impact dengan harga yang very berpatutan. You boleh dapat tak takaful PA protection RM1 a month, bagi you protection sampai RM50,000 kalau you accident. You can only get it from the TheNoor app.
Yeah. I think that's quite unique lah. Where you package this kind of offerings, offerings into the app and all that. And I think NGO ni or even zakat pun lah, dia orang mesti jealous kan, tengok kenapa kita tak fikir buat app macam ni dulu lagi kan. Sekarang ada tak macam ura-ura dia orang tanya macam are you open to us buying your app and all that? Dah ada belum those kind of conversation?
I belum came across
lah.
Belum
lagi
Yang jealous pun tak came across lagi.
Okay.
Kalau kau adalah hati ke tak tahu.
Because it'll be good, right? Because suddenly you have an extension, a tech extension yang dah ada package combo dengan influencernya, dengan payment gateway-nya, dengan successful downloads and all that kan. I'm sure dia orang pun rasa macam kenapa kita tak terfikir awal kan. Tapi tak apalah, that is beside the point kan. I also see sekarang ni of course TheNoor nampak sangat atraktif lah dan nampak macam on your social media pun sibuk ke sini kemari kan, pergi overseas apa semua kan, jumpa orang-orang di belah-belah Saudi sana kan. Nampak macam banyak interest lah, banyak interest and all that kan. So what is some of the developments that you are going through because of this success in launching? I mean it's interesting because you are position yourself as a Muslim app, right? Jadi I'm not sure, you may know better. Ada tak you face resistance atau are people open to the idea of this Muslim app /tech going abroad and all that? What's the...
I think it's a very good question and very hard one, tough one. Building a Muslim app ni paling susah. Kadang-kadang nak letak orang bercakap dalam video, ternampak sikit leher, problem. Ternampak tangan sikit, problem. Apa pun problem. Orang kita punya merchants yang letak poster, gambar exercise, nampak tangan sampai sini, problem. Susahlah work dengan you all. Itu antara challenges. Okay, challenges yang tak begitu besar tapi still challenges. Okay, challenges yang lebih besar kerana Islam ini dalam Malaysia in terms of kita nak target semua Muslim, tapi kita ada banyak school of thoughts. This is some of the challenges juga yang kita kena face. Gang ni dengan gang ni tak get along. Okay. So how do we make sure that we have no problem with all these gangs? Kan? So we need to be in the center in terms of dakwah. We need to ensure that we are not on any of the sides. We are just spreading dakwah and in a very fair manner, and we tak menyinggung mana-mana perasaan. So to do that, I think is one of the challenges. Itu belum cakap pasal soal kembangkan dakwah from Malaysia to Saudi. This one is a different cerita.
Different ball game altogether lah kan.
And we want to go to Indonesia, and because we know Muslim paling besar dalam dunia comes from Asia. 1.9 billion Muslim, and 98% comes from Asia. 2% from rest of the world. And I think we started to see that our users from 197 countries, tapi paling tinggi masih from Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei. These are antara yang paling tinggi penggunaan ataupun download TheNoor app. Tapi ada juga user-user daripada macam Lebanon, Egypt, tapi user tak begitu tinggi, maybe like 1,000 plus, 2,000. Macam dekat London, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's like 18 to 20,000. Okay. Dekat US is around 40,000. So adalah pengguna. Kalau 40,000 ni macam bunyi macam besar tapi tak, kecil je sebenarnya. So when we saw that number, we plan. Kemudian kita kata why not we go there and do some exposure, have some exposure, bagi some talks and tengok whether we can entice them to use the app better, and probably we can also have more NGOs yang kita boleh work with in that country. So and then we also penetrated Saudi, and Saudi is a different story lah kan, sebab we are in the midst of expanding to Saudi and having our office there as well, with the assistance from the Prince of Madinah, that is the Deputy Governor of Madinah. Yeah.
So that's also an interesting scenario lah, because kat sana of course dia punya scholars lagi ramai, you know, and the fact that you can actually go there and start this conversation and planning to expand there, I think is a very good progress lah, you know, from a homegrown punya Muslim app, which has got its own challenges, like you say. So very interesting lah, so I'm proud lah, you know, I'm proud, and I think we should also pride ourselves, you know, locally kita boleh buat benda-benda macam ni, you know, and I think you can be that test bed, that means dah ada orang yang challenge the norm nak buat Muslim app, and I think kita tak perlu segan nak, kalau kita cakap kita punya app ni ada unsur dakwah, ada unsur Islamic, and of course kita tak nak debate lah things that's going on in the world, but I think it's also challenging the normal understanding or the normal perception, and I think it's also a good thing lah, it's also a positive thing untuk kita explore. Kalau kita tak explore, kita takkan tahulah, kan? And I think you guys are exemplary lah of going and testing the boundaries of that lah, so okay, so kita dah cerita sikit pasal app, tapi baru-baru ni ada nampak dalam social media, kan, ada launch pula, ni baru punya cerita pula, kan, tiba-tiba ada nampak TheNoor Coffee pula. Maybe, you know, kita pun dah borak roughly about half an hour. Maybe towards the end ni kita cerita, lighten the mood sikit, kan, with this new launch, kan, TheNoor Coffee pula, kan. So cerita sikit macam mana pula idea ni boleh start?
Oh, it's a long story yang telah dipendekkan, version dia. Okay, it started somewhere in, this is 2023. Okay. Before I flew to, I had a trip to London, and ada this friend of mine cakap, Zairi, ada one coffee shop yang ada 12 branches, 12 outlets, wants to give up their business. Do you want to take over? I cakap, yeah, why not? Let's go and have a look. So I pergi tengok, there's one brand lah. Pergi tengok, I kata tak kena lah dengan my taste. Dia punya layout tak kena. I cakap, ni kalau I nak buat ni pun spend a lot of money. Sebab I am a guy who buat business semua pun duit investor, takkan nak ambil duit investor and spend kat sini, kan? So I cakap, no, I'm not going to do it, kan, because nak spend banyak. So after that I cakap, why not, we think if our investor loves our brand so much, love with our direction, let's talk to the investor and see if they are interested to run this as a brand extension project. So since TheNoor punya presence in terms of online quite okay, quite, I can say it's almost matured, why not we bring this brand offline, kan? So the more people see TheNoor, the more latest news that they can get, the more things that they can do, right? And they can also have quality food. So that's when I think we formed this team, and you know, the iron lady behind the food and all these beverages, I think is Izzati and Atira, and they have been powering up with the structure of TheNoor Coffee, and I think this is an exercise that TheNoor is doing. So because since this is a lifestyle app, we think and we believe that why not we can use this brand extension exercise that will benefit our users, and we can grow that as a separate business and in a separate entity. And this is what we are doing right now, and inshallah there's more outlets to come and more type of businesses that suits the lifestyle of Muslims and everyone, that you know. And I think F&B, everybody knows, right? F&B is a business that is an essential business yang mana diperlukan. F&B, logistics, makanan dan pengangkutan adalah benda yang sangat-sangat penting. Kalaupun berperang ataupun apa, these are the two things that is most important lah.
I think you've got that covered as well lah. Dulu Jatuh pun ada buat transportation, logistics and all that kan. So familiar with that. So sekarang ni so dah ada TheNoor Coffee. So the app is going to be powered by TheNoor app itself, ataupun you're going to create a different app altogether for the TheNoor Coffee.
TheNoor Coffee, I think it will have a separate section, but we want to tie back to our users.
Okay.
That means probably we can tie back with the AI section. In the TheNoor app, I think banyak yang tak tahu, kita ada AI section yang kita build from scratch. It's not a chat GPT engine. It's not Gemini engine. Kita bina sendiri engine ni. Alhamdulillah. You baca any verses from the Quran, kita tahu surah mana you baca, nombor berapa you baca. Kalau tertinggal perkataan, terkurang perkataan, terlebih perkataan, kita bagi tahu you. So we build that. So probably we can tie that with the TheNoor Coffee. So the more Quran that you recite, the more discounts you get.
Very interesting. Kalau kita tengok the development of the F&B punya ni lah, especially coffee kan. So recently kita tengok banyak coffee players yang baru, both locally as well as overseas. And the fact that selalunya diorang akan start with the product dulu and then develop the app eventually and all that kan. So TheNoor is terbalik sikit lah. Started with a lifestyle app, suddenly met both Atira and Izzati, which we have interviewed also. Tapi masa kita interview tu dia belum announce lagi. We heard rumours masa tu kan, tapi kita tak nak announce lah sebab dia belum officially launch kan. So good that you are able to identify great partners, and I think the brand extension tu is a beautiful extension lah kan. And I think it's something that kita boleh belajar jugalah. Tak semestinya kalau kita nak buat business mesti app dulu kan. Dia boleh benda lain dulu, a product or a service, eventually you can partner with other people, and I think that should be the spirit lah sekarang nowadays.
And I think it blends with our vision of TheNoor, because the coffee yang kita jual ni is coffee with a cause. Every cup that you purchase goes back to the NGO inside the app. So it's still transparent. You see the money goes where, and for every purchase, the money goes for donation as well.
Okay, so kita promote lah sikit So beli TheNoor Coffee because kita ada direct and transparent donation yang kita bagi balik kepada NGO. And I think it's this is proof lah. This is proof that zaman dah berubah. Kita kena raikan apa yang kita boleh buat sebagai seorang Muslim, sebagai seorang Islam. And this is no longer about race. This is about a global movement. And I think I applaud you lah, being among the brave one and courageous one. Like you say, nak buat Muslim app ni tak mudah kan. Ada challengesnya sendiri, bukan saja daripada pihak luar, tapi di kalangan orang Islam pun sendiri kan. So I think it's a very interesting development lah. So I'm honoured to be able to invite you today. And I think bagus juga kita buat sesi macam ni, dapat eksklusif support daripada MAHSA University, especially the Haniffa Business School kan. And hopefully Tan Sri pun dapat tengok kita punya podcast ni, and maybe this is also pencetus lah kepada banyak lagi development insyaAllah for both TheNoor app and also rakan-rakan usahawan di luar. So I think maybe before we close, ni dah nak dekat bulan puasa kan, I think we'll be launching this particular episode next week. Mungkin dah start puasa. Any interesting things with the development of the app bulan puasa ni?
Okay, I think we have so many things in line and upcoming dalam TheNoor app. Lepas ni kita akan lancarkan kejutan sahur.
Kejutan sahur. Macam mana tu kejutan sahur tu?
Kejutan sahur. I think if I can probably show you a bit. Okay.
Dah ada ke?
Tak, dalam app belum keluar lagi.
Okay, dalam app belum keluar.
Okay. So you akan dapat phone call daripada celebrities yang mana yang you set. Tapi jangan gaduh lagi bini sudah lah. Okay, so I'm going to show you a bit. So can you see this phone call from Neelofa coming in? Okay. Dengar Dengar ke? Okay.
Assalamualaikum. Siapa ni? Jom diterima Allah.
So kita boleh pilih So berapa ramai selebriti yang ada?
For now kita ada 4. Maybe we will add in more. Kita ada Bel Ngasri.
Okay.
Kita ada Bron Palare. Kita ada Haris Ismail, husband Neelofa. Dan kita ada Neelofa herself.
Okay.
Siapa-siapa nak suruh saya kejutkan, saya call sendirilah. Boleh juga. I call sendiri, PM tepi.
Okay, so that's some development. So dengan kata bulan puasa ni pun banyak event yang TheNoor akan
kita ada
organize.
Banyak event. I think one of the event yang I think I can highlight is kita akan buat Abdul Rahman bin Auf Award. Yang kita nak award NGO di luar sana yang memberikan ketelusan in terms of data, audit, report dan juga berapa yang telah disbursekan, and by categorization dia punya NGO dah disburse kepada urban poor ke, asnaf ke, siapa yang dia dah disburse, kita nak award these NGOs yang mempunyai ketelusan, because I think there's a lot of cases going on, speculations going on, so kita nak because tak semua NGO yang ada masalah, banyak kan okay, kan? So we want to award these NGOs and to encourage them because they are helping a lot of people out there.
Is that your own award punya
award.
Ni? Your own so this is also another brand extension lah, betul?
This is Abdul Rahman bin Auf Award by TheNoor, and we are now opening up for partners who wants to come, who wants to participate as well, who wants to be the title sponsor ke,
So ni first year lah buat ni.
Ini first year.
Alright, kan. So banyak development So korang kena follow lah. Nanti kita letakkan link social media Izzairi dan juga TheNoor, so that you guys can follow. Yang mana belum download app, boleh download app. And also to support us lah to bring guests like this, and to bring more community punya stories and all that. Bolehlah juga subscribe. Tak susah lah, tekan follow, tekan subscribe kita punya podcast. Kita pun nak tumpang ride juga kan, macam mana Izzairi buat ni kan. So kita nak tumpang, kita tak dapat Neelofa, kita dapat co-founder pun okey lah. Kita buat step by step, insyaAllah kan. Usahawan kena macam tu lah kot. Kena berani, kena berani. Okay, so I think in closing, maybe 1-2 kata-kata semangat ataupun tip untuk usahawan di luar sana, then we can wrap up.
I think I always tell people ataupun tell to myself juga, don't be afraid of failures. You can minimize failures through life lessons, belajar daripada kesilapan orang, dapatkan mentor untuk have a shortcut daripada pembelajaran. Because pembelajaran ni penat, experience ni mahal. So sometimes bila kita jumpa orang yang lebih experience, yang lebih mempunyai banyak pengalaman, learn from them. So it will save us a lot of time, effort and money. Kan? So that's my advice, and jangan takut. Kalau gagal pun jangan takut, bangun and cuba lagi sehingga berjaya, insya-Allah. Just kena kuatkan semangat tu lah.
Okay, alright. Thank you Izzairi. Thank you very much for joining us in the podcast today. I'd like to also thank MAHSA University again, and in particular Haniffa Business School for sponsoring the event, and to our audience, thank you very much. We will open it up to questions and answers shortly after we end the official podcast recording. So thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Welcome each one of you to the launching of Haniffa Business School.